Hello, everyone. Jun the Groomer here for a unplanned, kind of spontaneous Ask Jun the Groomer live. I've been meaning to go live since Sunday, actually, but you know, especially the holiday season, one thing after another. My table broke, right? And last night, I got out a little bit too late out of my last appointment, so too late to go to Home Depot, try to do anything about it. So this morning I had to try to get a new table, try to fix it, you know, but there's no fixing it. Just the materials made out of, I couldn't patch it up. So anyways, that then I had to go to this place that I know in Duluth that sells these tables, portable tables. But they don't open until 10 o'clock. My client's scheduled at 9, you know. So anyways, one fire after another. But here we are. I wanted to go ahead and try to get to some of these questions, especially I promised some people that I would try to do this live. So if I have any dog training friends out there, Alan Powell, if you're out there, hold on one second. Let me see if I'm actually, okay, perfect. The mic is in. Built-in output, okay. Oh no, okay, built-in output, okay, perfect. I just want to make sure all the settings are good. Sorry about that, guys. So this is from Anna. Anna says, hi, Jun. I'm Anna. I've been grooming for, oh, okay, so I'm trying to give I'm been grooming for blank years now, and I fall in love with the craft. I try to make sure each dog leaves my shop with a positive and happy experience. I love watching your videos and have been encouraged by your passion and have incorporated your skill in handling less tolerable dogs in my grooming. I'm having an issue with the new dog though. I'm hoping you can give me some tips or insight. And she showed me, you know, sent me a picture of the dog. He is just under a year and he is blind. He had a bit of a rocky beginning, but he's now with a wonderful young woman who he's very bonded with. Normally, I do not seek assistance from owners as I prefer to bond with the dogs, and we find we communicate better without moms and dads. But with Mowgli, it's been a little different. His first groom with me was his first ever, and it started out good, but he became very fearful and instantly went into fight or flight and was biting anything that came near him. I was able to calm him down, but couldn't handle him at all. So I asked his mom to come back, and with the help of a happy hoodie, and a happy hoodie is just this, like, almost looks like a piece of a sock, you know, that you put over the dog's ears, and it kind of like a stretchy, elastic, you know, almost like soccer, like, you know, soccer socks that you would put over the dog's head and ears that calms him down. So that's the happy hoodie. So with the help of a happy hoodie, double tethering, and mom feeding cheese the entire time, I was able to get him dried and brushed out. He got off the table and ran around a bit, took some pictures, let him move, let me love him, and all was good. Okay. So yeah, so that first visit, using the happy hoodie, double tethering, the mom was feeding cheese the whole time, encouraging. Oh, Doodle Arts. Hi, I'm wondering what your best tips for new groomer working on their own would be. Oh, perfect. Okay, Doodle Arts. But let me just finish this real quick. Okay. Okay, he got to the table, ran around a bit, took some pictures, let me love him, and all was good. I was hopeful for the next time. Next time came this week, and it was not good. He was not distracted by the cheese or peanut butter. I used lavender oil on me, his towel, and the tether. He wore the happy hoodie and cotton in his ears. His mom was there to comfort him, and he bit her. I'm feeling discouraged and challenged at the same time. I'm looking for help, so get through this, and you can offer some mojo. Thanks for all you do. Love watching you do your thing. Thanks, Anna. And so I replied, Anna, don't waste my time. No, I was kidding. So I replied, you know, I asked her if she would be okay with me, you know, sharing this, and obviously she said yes. So that's really interesting, right? So Doodle Arts, this is a really cool thing. If you're a new groomer working on your own, this is something that you're going to encounter, because a lot of times dogs will do better, like a little bit better on the first visit, and then do worse on the second visit. In my experience, And one time, one dog in particular that I remember is named Kaibo. So his very first visit, he came to me as a puppy. He did perfect. He was calm. Another one was Tank. You know, calm, perfect. They did so well when they were a puppy for their puppy groom, right? The second groom they came in, the second time, second and third time, they were just like really, you know, like challenging me and just very protesting the whole thing, you know. And my best guess was that it's probably because you know, the very first time they were puppies, they didn't really know what was going on. Second time, they're bigger now. They're a little bigger. They're stronger. They're feeling a little more independent. Probably like those little, you know, teen years, you know, where they feel like challenging things, you know. So, and then after that, they actually mellowed out, and the grooms were all good after that. But I did notice, like a lot of times when it's the puppy groom, they do perfect. Then they kind of they do a little bit bad, you know. They kind of become a little bit more challenging. Um, but then I've had another groom in Arizona where you know, no matter what, they brought the dog to me, their dog to me a few times actually, just to let me get, you know, let their dog warm up to me and watch me groom other dogs. But still, we never got to the point where I felt comfortable actually grooming their dog. So I never ended up grooming their dog, and you know, and honestly, like at that point in my career, yeah, I did a bunch of aggressive dogs and everything, and I just didn't feel the need to actually prove anything anymore. And I felt like, yeah, I could have gotten that dog groomed. You know, I could have double tethered, you know, muzzle, and you know, just got it done. But I don't know. For me now, I just feel like I'm at the point now where I feel like maybe every dog is not, you know, is not for me to groom. You know, and I'm okay with that now because I realize that some dogs that like me and they get along with me and they trust me and they have this, you know, bond and connection with me may not feel that way about somebody else, and vice versa. A dog that likes another groomer may not like me personally, you know, and it's nothing about my grooming skills or anything like that. And I've started to get better with that and just understand that first of all, physically, I can't groom every dog, you know, like it just, I'm one person, it takes too long. I can only do so many dogs in a day. But yeah, anyways, so Doodle Arts, I'm wondering what your best tips for a new groomer working on their own would be. So that would depend on what you're doing. Are you a new groomer in a grooming salon, Doodle Arts, or are you a new groomer trying to start your own business? Either way, here would be my best tip is to go contact a rescue shelter, because rescue shelters are always in need for grooming, especially because you know, a lot of the donations, a lot of the funds that they're getting are being spent on vetting and doing things that are keeping these dogs alive, you know, food, for example. And so a grooming kind of, you know, unfortunately kind of gets put, you know, down a little bit further down on the priority list. So if they had somebody coming in and offering free grooming services, um, you know, and you can be upfront and honest with them, just perfectly upfront. Say, I'm a completely new groomer. I'm doing this to get experience, and I'm offering it for free. Then most rescue shelters will accept you open hands, open arms. The only thing is, you have to Doodle Arts at home. Okay, so you're trying to start a business at home. This is perfect. So when you're trying to contact a rescue shelter, find out what their address is, right? And go there. Physically go to the location, because if you call them and leave a message or email them, you're never going to hear back from them, because unfortunately, it's not because they're bad people, they want to ignore you. It's just because their resources are very limited, and volunteers are always, you know, cleaning, taking out dogs, helping out things. So you know, you're not really going to hear back if you're leaving a message like, hey, I'm a groomer, you know, I'm just looking, you know, they're probably like, skip, you know, like. But anyways, so you want to actually physically go to the rescue shelter, right? Introduce yourself, and whoever is there to answer the door, you know, find out from them who it is that you need to talk to, find out when they're there, and actually meet with them, right? And tell them, this is what I want to do. I want to become a groomer. I need experience. You know, I'm grooming out of my home, Doodle Arts, and here, you know, I'm close by. Bring your dogs to me. Just have, you know, they have volunteers that will actually shuttle dogs to you. and let them know on certain days or every day, whatever arrangement you're comfortable with, you know, at the point that you're at right now. Because right now I don't have time. I can't do rescue shelter dogs as much as I'd love to. But anyways, and set it up so you can actually go there on certain days, or they bring their dogs to you and you groom their dogs for free. Here's why it's so important to do it for free, is because you're trying to gain a skill that is very valuable. At least to me, it's super valuable. And to my clients, to the clients that, you know, pay me very well, you know, very generously. But it's a very valuable skill that you can literally take anywhere. And I've done so. I went to Arizona, Utah. You can go anywhere in the world, actually, and, you know, find work as a dog groomer, as a skilled dog groomer. So because this is a very valuable skill, you have to give something first in order to get it, right? And so if you want to become a doctor, you know, there's things. So you have to pay your dues, is what I'm saying. And so before you become a good groomer, put in the time. And it's hours in the saddle, you know, like my instructor Barbara used to tell me, hours in the saddle, just, you know, putting in the time, doing the reps. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the autobiography I'm listening to, he was saying the same thing. It's about the reps, you know. So with each rep, even though it's painful, you know, it's taking you a step closer. So 10,000 hours, Malcolm Gladwell talks about 10,000 hours is about the amount of hours that it takes to master a skill. And it's not 10,000 hours where you just clock in, clock out. It's 10,000 focused hours where you're deliberately trying to get better at your skill. And it's those kind of hours, and that takes about 5 years. So I would say, you know, and here's the great thing. Let's say you're developing a really good relationship with this rescue shelter, right? You're doing a great job with their dogs. When their dogs get adopted out, guess what? They're gonna let them know when their person says, "Oh my God, this dog's so beautiful." Oh, guess what? So and so groomed them, right? So and so groomed them, and they do such a great job. They come here and volunteer their time. Guess what? Now you have a new client, right?
That's when you have to go in with a business card and be prepared.
That's when so having a business card and being prepared and having, you know, them pass out your business cards, but here's the thing. You can't just go into the rescue shelter, give them your business card and say, "Hey, you know, I'm a new groomer, I'm struggling, I got kids at home, I got my own, you know, dogs I gotta feed." You can't just give them a sob story and say, "Can you pass out my business cards?" You got to give them a reason. So offer your services for free first and do a good job first, right? Then that way they trust you, they like you, right? Then when they adopt their dogs out, you can just let them know, whenever you guys adopt a dog out, if they like the groom, if they like the way the dog looks, can you give them my business card? Boom. Now you have a new client who knows something about you. They might not know a lot about you, but they know something about you, that you're a giver, that you give first before you accept. True success comes at the service of others, not at the expense of others. So before I get too preachy, Kathy Emmerich, I'm not a professional groomer, but do groom dogs on my own. Oh, do groom my own dogs. Okay. 2 questions for you. What is the best thing to use for tangles in my Pyrenees? Oh, okay. And how do I best handle an extremely aggressive cocker? Oh, so 2 huge questions. Best thing to use for your Great Pyrenees, I would say the Freddy Krueger. Okay, if it's matted and tangled, you know what? Yeah, because it's a pet dog. Okay, so if it's a show, if we're talking about a show Pyrenees or a Pyrenees you're gonna show, then you don't want to do this. But if we're talking about a pet Pyrenees that's matted, tangled, okay, you want to get what I call a Freddy Krueger. It's a mat rake, I believe they call it, but it's got a handle and it's like a rake, right? And it's got these serrated blades, right? And they're pretty sharp. And you go through the coat and you kind of just pick at it. You know, you don't want to yank and rip and cut through the coat. You just want to kind of work out those balls, those tangled balls, and they'll kind of work out as you pick at it and tease at it. I have a few good videos where I show how to do that, but anyways, I said good, relatively good, I guess. How do you best handle extremely aggressive cocker? So cockers are just, they have a bad reputation in the grooming industry. Like a lot of groomers don't, and some groomers actually will refuse to even groom a cocker spaniel. They just ban the breed out of their shop, you know, because cocker spaniels, you know, are known to have an attitude. But how do you handle extremely aggressive cocker? First, you got to get that cocker to like you, because the I've seen really crazy aggressive cockers where I thought they were psychotic, right? But when their owners come and I try to tattle on their dog and try to tell the owner what a bad dog they have, you know, all of a sudden to their owner they're super sweet. It's like Jekyll and Hyde, right? And so what I realized, and then the thing is, it took like a year or so, but that dog trusted me and liked me, actually liked me. She didn't fight anymore and she wasn't aggressive anymore. So with cocker spaniels, because they're field dogs, because they're bred to really be in tune with their owner, with their partner, really is the way they see it, their human partner out in the field. The human partner, you know, is looking, and the dog's gonna, you know, run out there and grab the bird. They have a soft mouth. So anyways, when you understand what they're bred for, you understand that these cockers are extremely loyal to their owners. And here comes a stranger trying to mess with them and do things that they don't really like and they're uncomfortable with. Of course, they have attitudes, you know, and they're gonna get really aggressive, especially cocker spaniels. But I actually thought that my client was lying to me. With her dog's name Treacle, and she just would freak out for her legs, you know, just anyways, she would tell me that she doesn't do that for me. She never does that for me. And I was just thinking, okay, yeah, right, you know. But no, she really doesn't. And now she doesn't do that for me either, you know. But you know, it just, we have to remember that dogs are sentient beings and they have feelings, right? But you're this dog's owner, so you're probably, oh, I'm guessing you're this dog's owner, and they probably get aggressive for the grooming. So I feel like somewhere along the line, maybe like because so the three ingredients that you need according to Cesar Millan is trust, respect, and love. So you probably have trust and love from your cocker. Your cocker spaniel trusts you. It knows that you're not going to do anything to try to hurt it or anything like that. It loves you, but I think maybe the respect is not there, and maybe that's why they get aggressive when you try to groom them. And that's not trying to say anything bad about you. It's just, you know, when those three ingredients are there, trust, respect, and love, literally everything changes and the dog is not aggressive anymore.
Either that or they're being aggressive as in spot hurts.
Yeah, that could be too.
Knowing the breed of the dog, why, you know, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there could be all kinds of reasons. And that's the thing, when a dog is acting aggressive, I don't try to label as, oh, this dog's aggressive. I try to look at it as, this dog's communicating with me, and the way it's communicating with me, what is it trying to communicate, right? Is it hurting in a certain area? Is it doing it only when I'm touching in a certain area? You know, is the hind leg bothering them? You know, maybe it's the ear, you know, things like that. There's a really good quote. I wish I could remember who said it, but nature cannot be controlled by force, only through understanding. I really wish I could. Oh, I could probably just Google it. But anyways, please Google it. It's a really good quote. Nature cannot be controlled by force, only through understanding. So once we try to understand where the dog's coming from, why they're acting the way they're acting, when we show the dog with our body language, with everything that we're doing, we're trying to make it very clear to them that we're trying to understand them. It feels so good to be understood, especially when you're a dog that you feel like nobody's understanding you, nobody's really getting you. Sweating, and they're trying to show you that they're trying to understand you. The appreciation that comes back from that dog is amazing. Just because you're showing this dog, I'm not judging you, I'm just trying to understand you, you know. But Kathy Emmerich, thank you so much for that question. And also for the parenting. So the Freddy Krueger is what I call it, but it's called the mat rake, dematting rake. That would be my #1 choice. Second choice would be a coarse comb. And they usually come in wooden handles, but a big coarse comb. And those are like big metal pins that are spaced kind of further apart than normal combs. And that's going to help you, slide through that coat and get those mats out. Georgina, let me get a little bit of. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Kind of looks like this, but it's going to be thicker. It's going to be bigger pins, and they're going to be spaced a little further apart, but you're going to want something like that. Georgina Barbodas. Hi, Jun. I love street dogs or the dogs that need grooming, but the owners cannot afford it. Do you have any suggestions as to how to make it a business? It just seems I couldn't make a living. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing that I struggled with in the beginning. And I felt really uncomfortable even talking about business because, I kept, not being able to get my business up and going. Now, obviously, we have a business because my wife stepped in and she took over the business side. But that's the thing is, like, I think, though, in the beginning, if you're a new groomer and you're just starting out and you don't have a loyal clientele, you don't have a big following, I think focusing too much on how you're going to make the money is, I think, a distraction. Really, you need to focus, or in my opinion, all I focused on when I was struggling financially, all I focused on was trying to develop my skill and trying to become a better groomer, more skillful, because I realized if I want to earn more money, I need to become more skillful. My grooms need to look sharper. They need to look crisper. The lines need to look nicer, the angles. I need to understand angulation, and things like that.
On the side note, but if you want to make money doing this in the beginning, it's hard because, like Jun said, you don't have a clientele. So what you can do is maybe pet sit, while you're pet sitting, offer the brush service, or
I wouldn't even offer it as an add-on. I would just charge for the pet sitting, and just do the brushing just for free, because brushing is, I sweat. Brushing is the hardest part of the groom for me. But if you get their dog nice and brushed out, and their dogs feel, rather than gritty and rough, their coat feels nice and silky and smooth, and they're all nice and combed out. There's that's gonna make an impression on them.
Not just that, but not a lot of clients know that there's an option for just a brush out service.
Yeah. So then you can start charging like just for brushing once you offer it. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the theme. You have to offer first, and then show them what you can do, show them the value, and then you can ask for. So I forget who said it, but they're saying that a lot of people are wondering, like, I have this dream that I really want to go for, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make money, how I'm going to earn a living if I go after my dream. And the guy was like, you're not going to make money when you go after your dream, forget about trying to make money when you go after your dream. That's not why you go after your dream. You go after your dream because of what you become, what that journey makes of you, right? And when you come out on the other end, money really doesn't even matter, because the kind of person that you become, money literally, you attract success. As Jim Rohn says, success is not something that you chase. It's something that you attract by the person that you become. Anyways, so that would be my suggestion. How do you have any suggestions as to how to make it a business? If you're grooming street dogs that need grooming. Okay, here's a suggestion, right? I have an actual real practical way to make money doing this. Grab a street dog, right? And if you have a camcorder, great, film this. If you don't have a camcorder, use your phone and film with your phone. If you don't have a phone that films, you borrow someone's, because someone's gonna have one, right? Okay, so go out and find a dog, a GoPro or something, but something to film, right? So you go out and you find a dog that looks really bad, right? And you take it and you rescue it, or whatever you need to do, however you want to say it. But then you groom it and you make it look nice, and you do a dramatic like difference before and after, right? You edit that video, put it on your Facebook page, put it on YouTube, will get shared and go viral because it's remarkable.
And you're creating a story.
You're creating a story, right? You're building an audience. You're getting people interested in what you're doing because it's like, hey, here's this groomer going out and picking up these, you know, crazy looking street dogs and cleaning them up. Look at this. This is interesting. You know, Instagram, whatever you need to do, right? And then you can start putting affiliate links. So Amazon has an affiliate program that you can join for free, right? You join Amazon's affiliate program. If you go on Amazon.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see affiliate program or like, you know, make money with this or something like that. Or you can even Google it, affiliate, Amazon affiliate program. But let's say you're grooming these street dogs that look really nasty and tattered, right? Whatever shampoo product you're using, whatever tools that you're using, you can get the Amazon affiliate link from your dashboard, and then you could put those links in the description of your videos. And then, and you're not pushing it on anyone. You're not saying, hey, you know, buy these tools and so I can make money. You know, you're just, these people who are going to watch these videos and who are interested in what you're doing and they like you and they trust you, they're going to trust that you're not pushing products and tools on them that they're not going to need or want. You're just sharing the information of where they can buy these tools and products that you're using in these videos, right? And the price doesn't change because they click the link. It's the same price, and then you get a commission from it. So you're getting so a little bit, you're getting pennies from YouTube for ad revenue. You know, if you do it on YouTube and people watch your videos, you get a little bit. And then you get a little bit from Amazon. Actually, Amazon, they pay pretty good commissions. Like, for example, I sold a pair of clippers. Well, I didn't sell. A pair of clippers sold for $104. I got $10 commission. You know, and these are clippers that people were buying, watching my YouTube channel and buying anyways. I just put a link on there, and then they clicked the link, and I got the commission. So that would be a way, Georgina Barbodes. You know, not to dismiss your wanting to make money, because of course, I know how hard it is. You know, when you're struggling to pay the bills, it's really, really hard sometimes to, you know, think about passion and, you know, like nobody cares about, you know, climate change when they can't pay their heat bill. You know what I'm saying? So I understand these higher, you know, motives are sometimes easier to entertain when we're financially stable, but don't let that bog you down too much. You know, just understand that as long as you really and you grow an extra leaf, you know, you become a 4-leaf clover, people literally seek you out, and you'll get picked out of the crowd, and then money won't even become an issue.
Is Leon on there?
Leon Harris? I didn't see him.
No.
Okay, so RCG Network, the mustache. Oh, nice. You liking that? I will reach out to a local shelter. Perfect. Local shelter, rescue organizations. I mean, yes. And then I'm not going to beat that to death. We've already talked about that enough. So Kathy Emmerich, he is my service dog. He isn't matted, just gets tangles. Okay, just gets tangles. Then I would definitely just get a that coarse comb, you know, like with metal pins. Even a pin brush will work, but a pin brush really kind of fluffs out the top coat. To really get it brushed out and combed out well, you want a nice metal comb with metal bristles. Mr. Beans, what's up, Mr. Beans? Hello, sorry I'm late. No, Mr. Beans, actually, I'm late. I'm sorry. I told you 6 o'clock. I was doing dishes. I mean, I still got my work uniform on. I'm sorry, Mr. Beans. I was actually the one that was late. And when I didn't see you on here, I was thinking like, oh man, I told you 6 o'clock. I might, but that's right. I didn't really commit though. I was like, I might, you know, just depending. Kathy Emmerich.
Brush.
Oh, this one, yeah, a pin brush with metal bristles or metal teeth.
You know, any slicker brush that has, I don't know if you can really see that there, but it hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts.
Yeah, especially when those little things get caught in under your fingernail. Oh, no. Okay.
But something like this, or a Greyhound comb is really good.
Okay, Kathy Emmerich. She is psycho. She came from a puppy mill and loves us until we have to do anything with her, even meds. Ah, the cocker. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, you just have. I literally, if it's my cousin actually has a dog named Oreo. For a while there, I was the only one that could groom her. But yeah, you just no matter what she's doing, I just hey, it's all right, Oreo, don't do that. You just gotta be super calm. I say we have to become the rock for their fears to crash on. Because if you really think about it, the reason why they're acting this way, and it really is waves, because they'll be like this, and then it's like waves. So these vicious waves of fear and everything that's coming out of them, we cannot return that because it's going to become a big battle. We want it to become a beautiful scene of an ocean where the waves are crashing on the rocks, and we are the rocks that their fears can crash on. We have to be there for them. Let's see here. Mr. Beans, I hope I didn't miss a lot. Mr. Beans, no, you didn't miss much. I mean, I probably just said some of the most amazing, most profound things I've ever said in my entire life, but no big deal. You just, no, I was kidding. Eden as humanity over vanity. Yes, that is the grooming mantra, humanity over vanity. We want to do what's best for the dog at all times. Doodle Arts, another question. What would I do? Well, what do I need to start a business? How do you get started? Okay, so here's what you don't need. Which is what I thought you needed. I thought you needed capital. I thought you needed a catchy name, a catchy website. I thought you needed a good business plan and structure, which is all. I mean, all of this stuff is the good things that you need. But what you really need to start a business, I believe, is passion. You really, and that sounds cheesy, it really does, but like you really have to love it. You have to love it. You know why? Because there's days where it sucks. Oh my God, there's days where it sucks. And you really don't even want to do it. Like, oh my God, you just want to put your tools down. You just want to walk away forever. There are days like that. And you have to really love what you do, because when you come home from a day like that, even though it was really rough and it took everything out of you, you're just drained, right? You still go to bed kind of happy and proud and like, you know what though? Man, that was a pretty badass day. I poured it on. And then you're excited for the next day, but I just couldn't imagine trying to do a business, and I did. I worked so many jobs before where my heart wasn't in it, and I just didn't like it. I would get sick a lot. I would call out. Just the thought of work would make me sick sometimes, But that's the thing. I've never called out sick ever since I started grooming. I haven't called out sick in a day since anyways. Yeah. What do I need to start a business? How do you get started?
Depending on what kind of business you're trying to go for. Are you trying to open up a salon? Are you trying to open up a high-end spa, doggy spa? Are you trying to go, start from home and do a home business? Or are you trying to do something like grooming, boarding, daycare? It just really figure out kind of what it is that
before
you
all of
want
that,
to do.
I think that if you're gonna start a grooming business, you have to learn to groom, and the only way to learn to groom is to put in those hours. And I think the safest way to put in those hours is not to start a business. I think for about a good 4 or 5 years, it's a good idea to work under somebody that you respect, somebody that you can look at and say, you know what, I can respect them. I like the way they groom. I like their philosophy. I like what they believe. I can agree with them, and I think work under that person for a good 4 or 5 years, and develop the skill. And then in doing so, let's just say you start sharing your pictures, your grooms on Instagram and things like that and social media, and you start to develop a following. Now, after 4 or 5 years, if you wanted to start your own grooming business, you don't even have to worry about whether or not you're going to have clients or anything. You have a crowd that's going to follow you.
Is that Georgie? She said she's been growing for 3 years. That's the same question. Oh no, it's not.
Oh no. So yeah, here's the thing. It's like, oh man, 4 or 5 years. You know, you mean I gotta like sweat and toil for 4 to 5 years? It's like, yeah, you know, and what else are you gonna do in 4 to 5 years? Start a business and go out of business like I did? No, I mean, the better thing to do is to just think of it as grooming university and work under somebody that will apprentice you and teach you. And in the meantime, you can go to these grooming trade shows, because when you're working as a groomer in a salon, you are allowed to go to the grooming trade shows because they're not opened out to the public. And at those grooming trade shows, even if you don't pay for classes, when you walk around the trade show floor, these professionals in the industry are doing these, demos right there on the trade room floor. You could put their seats there, you can sit down, take notes, and so I feel like once you develop the skill and you have confidence in your skills as a groomer, and you know how to do a Bichon, you know how to set the pattern on a poodle, and you know why the angles and the scissor, the angulation, everything that you're going to do is different on a Bichon than a poodle, and understanding all of this. Once you understand it and you know you can do it and you have this confidence, starting a business, I think, is, just happens naturally. Mr. Beans, any advice on what I should do about becoming a groomer and not having health insurance? I have found my passion, but this part is worrying me. Yeah. What should I do about becoming a groomer and not having health insurance? So, Mr. Beans, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't have health insurance, and so yeah,
but
like
that is so important.
It is
for
important
you to exercise and eat healthy and take some time for you. Take care of you, so you don't have to. It's like eating an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I think everybody knows what's best for you.
Exactly. I mean, even after this live stream, we're gonna go hit the gym. And so, Mr. Beans, my best advice is take care of yourself. Health insurance is great, but health insurance is just the government helping you out after you've gotten sick. Don't rely on the government to help you after you've gotten sick. Prevention is the best, I think, is taking care of ourselves and taking our health in our own hands. So I've been going to the gym, trying to eat much better, trying to actually cook more foods, or when I go out, eat at places where I know that they're cooking real ingredients, and things like that. Drinking better water, making sure the pH is 7 or higher, because if a lot of the water that we drink, the pH is 5, and that's acidic actually to our bodies, and that has a huge effect on us. Yes, exactly. And here's the thing. It's about doing a little a day, not a lot on Sunday. So then I say that to my daughters all the time. It's a little about their homework. I say that about my exercises. So you can't cram for this stuff. You have to just do a little a day. Jim Rohn says, don't neglect the daily disciplines. The man wakes up and says, I'm going to clean up my organization. He won't even clean out his own garage, So, and I made a little video earlier because I was really thinking about this. It's so easy to say, I'm going to change the world, because, saying that I'm going to change the world, it gives you this big impossible task that's never going to end, rather than something actually achievable, saying I'm going to change myself. Anyways.
And instead of worrying about health insurance, instead of worrying and stressing, maybe try thinking outside of the box and think, how can I bring money in? How can, so that way, when I have passive income coming in, then I'm able to put some of that money aside. So just in case I do have a sick day, then I'm not so, strapped for money.
Exactly.
I have money coming in.
Exactly. So, and we were actually, so last year around November, we started to go to a workout anytime, because we figured $25 membership for the both of us to go work out. Why not? And all we were doing was the cardio. That's it. The elliptical machines, 30 minutes a day. And that actually made a big difference, right? And the biggest thing for me was making it a habit of going to the gym, because it sucked. Oh my God, I didn't want to go. Anyways, and So once we got it in the habit of going to the gym, 3 months ago, we started to strength train and actually start working out and developing our muscles. And it's just changed everything. But it's a little a day. It's a little a day. Okay. And just here's the point. Don't depend on others. Don't depend on the government to take care of you, because usually they're going to disappoint. Take your health in your own hands and exercise, stretch, drink good water, eat good food, things like that. Days 1126. No questions, just thank you. I've learned so much from your videos. Not a pro, just for fur mom. Chizu, I started grooming her based on your video. Wow, thank you so much. Awesome. Daisy 1126. Wow, thank you. Mr. Beans. Also, I can go to a grooming school that's just starting. Whoa, for $10,000 or apprentice for free. What is your advice?
Wow. Nothing beats hands-on experience.
Exactly. Mr. Beans, if you have $10,000, I will train you. I'll train you for $10,000. Holy crap.
No, I would invest that.
Yeah, invest that. Invest that in yourself. Okay. Do what you want. Okay. But Mr. Beans, if you're asking me, what is my advice? $10,000 on a grooming school or apprentice for free. I mean, duh. Even if the guy apprenticing me is mean and he's throwing shoes at me and I gotta duck, to come in to work.
Teaching you a
still,
skill.
I would do that over pay $10,000. Oh my goodness. Candace, hello, hey, how are you, Candace? Georgina Barbodas. I've been grooming 3 years now and work as a groomer now. Perfect. Georgina, it's mainly the dogs that are neglected that I feel for. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. Here's what I would do when I did have time, because now my weekends are even booked. But when I did have time, I would set aside Sundays and have groom rescue dogs for free on Sundays. All my charity grooms that I would do for friends that needed, free dogs, grooms and stuff, people that are struggling financially, anything that I was going to do as like a charity, type of work, charitable work, I would do on Sundays. And Sundays actually was my favorite day, because I would tell Kimmy, like, that's the only day I get to go in and really just work and do my art without having to worry about taking payment in the end, and those were my favorite days. But I would do that, Georgina Barbodas. If it's something in your heart that really does pull at you, then maybe set aside a day and call it, rescue day or something like that. Oh, and that would be a really nice thing to kind of share on social media too. It shows that you're being involved in helping the community. Eden S. And I know, okay, so I just want to make a really quick point. You're not doing good things so you can share it on social media. Because we don't have money to pay a public relations people or other people to toot our horn for us, because we don't have the money to pay other people to do that. Unfortunately, we have to toot our own horns, or we have to rely on our friends and family to toot our horns for us, and they're busy, And so I feel like we have to learn to toot our own horns. Just do it in a way that's not so salesy, so annoying all the time. Just, hey, look at these cute dogs. Today's rescue day. Things like that. And that way, at least,
better if they don't make it about themselves.
Exactly. Don't make it about yourself. Don't ask them, by the way, book your summer groom appointments, groom your winter appointments, nothing like that. Don't ask for the sale. Don't advertise. It's just showing, here's how we spent our day, and we loved it. Something like that. And that's the way you're tooting your own horn and you're showing people what you're doing, but it's not in an annoying way,
Number one, just be genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and then another thing, you can't be poor enough to help the poor. So like by
yeah. So I mean, if you talk about bleeding hearts, like my whole life. So the biggest thing that really changed me though was when Wayne Dyer said, you cannot get sick enough to help anyone who's sick, and you can never get poor enough to help anyone who's poor. So that really just like, wow, it's so true. All this time, I wanted to empathize, and I do empathize, with people who are struggling, especially because the way I grew up, I feel bad, and I want to join them kind of just to let them know, hey, I'm with you, But if you want to help the poor, the best way to help the poor is not become one of them. You know, if you want to help the sick, it's best to stay healthy so you can help the sick. Anyways, Eden S, what is your top 3 must-have products for grooming? My top 3 must-have products, if I'm going to go groom a friend's dog, right, and I can only take 3 things with me, I would take a pair of clippers, a pair of scissors, and a metal comb. Those would be my top 3 must-haves. A pair of scissors, I don't care if it's curved or straight, I'll work with it. A pair of clippers, and a pair of, and a metal comb, a Greyhound comb. If I have those 3 products, or those 3 tools, I could pretty much groom most dogs. It probably won't look great, but you know. And then if you're talking about products, as far as like grooming products, I would say coat conditioner, like a spraying coat conditioner. Relic makes no, not Relic. Equis makes really good coat conditioner spray. There's another one. There's a lot of great companies that make coat conditioners. Advet makes a good spray. But anyways, I like a good spray for the coat. Conditioner. And what other product? Ear cleaner. I would want ear cleaner, conditioner, and a coat, leave-in spray, a coat spray. If I had those 3 products, I would be fine. Because if I'm gonna skip one or the other, shampoo or conditioner, I'm gonna skip shampoo, not conditioner. And also, if I have ear cleaner, I can use that for the feet if they're yucky. Any other part of the body that has like skin conditions, I can use the ear cleaner to clean it, you know, clean those areas off. I cannot use a skin product to clean the ears though. So that's very important. I didn't know that until I talked to this guy that actually made the Relic products, the shampoo and everything, the ear cleaner, the skin solution. He was saying that the ear cleaner is actually a diluted form of the skin solution. And the reason for that is because the ears are more sensitive and, you know, the skin is more fragile. So it has to be more mild of a solution for the ears than the skin. So you can use ear cleaner for in between the toes, you know, to clean the toes, but you can't use skin solution that you would use on the toes for the ear. It'd be too strong. So I would rather have ear cleaner, which I can use for the ears and everything else, than a skin solution that I can't use on the ears. So Eden S, thank you so much. That was really cool. Simon B, Chinese or Japanese? Dirty knees, look at these. No, I was kidding. I'm actually Korean. RCG Network. I want to groom dogs, but I can't because heat. Any advice? Yeah, just get a chair. Sit down, you know, have a seat. They have actually these grooming stools that have wheels on them, so you can sit down. It looks like a bicycle seat almost that you can sit down on. It has wheels that you can roll around. So I would say get a stool that rolls around.
Oh, and also, you know what Nina has? The lift that you put on top of the grooming table.
Yeah, and you can get grooming tables that go up pretty high as well. Or you can even make a lift, you know, just with 2x4s, wood. Anyways, Georgina Barbodas, thank you for helping me see outside the box. Oh, you're welcome, Georgina. That's awesome. Giselle in Blue, what's up, Giselle in Blue? How are you? I seen you on Instagram. Doodle Arts, just an at-home business.
Okay.
Especially if you're gonna run an at-home business, I would advertise daycare, right? Because people who may be a little hesitant to trust you with their dog for grooming, because a lot of things can happen during the groom. You can accidentally cut their ears. I mean, you know, people don't like to see blood when it comes to their dogs. Even me, they trust me, they love me, they know I'm a good groomer, they have a good reputation. But when I nick a dog by accident, I pretty much accept the fact that I may be fired, you know, because it's a big deal. The owners don't like to see their dogs get nicked. So I would advertise daycare because that's a little bit easier for people to trust you with, to just watch their dogs during the day. And, you know, that's not much either. It's not a big financial commitment on their part. And while you're watching their dogs, brush them out. and comb them out for them.
You're gonna be the best daycare
Yeah.
sitter.
And then they're gonna start saying, you know what? Why don't you try grooming my dog? You know, I'll give you
Before
a
you
stuff.
know it, you'll get the whole neighborhood.
Exactly, because you're giving them more value than you're accepting in payment. Okay. Jim's Equipment Shed. RCG Network, get a taller lift table. Exactly. Jim's Equipment Shed. What's up? I've seen you in some of the past feeds. Thank you so much for joining. Mr. Beans, how will I be able to affect checkups, etc. though? I have to get yearly eye exams because I have a higher risk for glaucoma. And there are other things. These things weren't due to not exercising.
Oh yeah, of course. They're like hereditary, like genes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why when you have those financial, do not take shame in taking the government help at all. There's no shame in that.
Yeah.
While it's available.
But he's just saying that he has these he has like eye exams and things like that. He has things that he has to visit the doctor on a regular basis for.
Right.
And school is all hands on. I also believe in having a dental appointment every 6 months. I can't buy insurance that's affordable without working for a big corporation. That's exactly what I was about to say. Is if you I hear a lot of stuff about Petco and PetSmart and these big box stores, but one of the benefits of working for these big box stores is that they do offer you healthcare benefits and things like that, which will give you a little cushion. You can still see the doctor. And the thing is, without working for a big corporation, what exactly about working for a big corporation do you not like? Because I had my reservations as well. But me personally, I actually had a pretty, Mr. Bean says, I don't know what to do. Well, I had actually a pretty good experience working for a corporate, store. And it was called Pet Club. They had like, I think it's still called Pet Club. But anyway, they got bought out recently. But the regional manager named Melissa Diener, she actually goes by the oily groomer. And she has a blog site called Get Groomified. I had her on my show one time as well, but we became really good friends, and she was my supervisor, and I managed the location, and it was really nice. I mean, it was slow starting because I was managing a new location. I was a new groomer out there, and I tried to use some of my social media pull, but yeah, it just takes time and grooming is a very emotional, it involves a lot of trust, and it's very, it's a very sensitive thing for somebody to hand you over their pet and trust you to put scissors and sharp objects all around them and not hurt them.
This is your passion. Unfortunately, in dog grooming, there is no such thing as health insurance.
Yeah, and a lot of shops, they don't really offer health insurance. So, the best thing to do is, maybe put aside your tips, have a budget to where you can budget in your health and things like that. That's really tough. I mean,
I would just research and see what the best health insurance out there is for
yeah, and he's saying I only want to focus on passion, but I also have to be realistic, and that sucks.
Yes.
And that I would say all the time, you have to follow your heart, but don't forget your brain. So what I would do if I was in your shoes, Mr. Beans, and I absolutely do not want to give up grooming, and I really feel like this is my calling, then what I would do is something that I've been talking about with other groomer or other bathers who are coming up. I keep encouraging everyone I meet that's a bather learning to become a groomer, like, start a YouTube channel. Really, because my biggest regret is that I didn't start one sooner to document, what happened and how I learned actually how to become a groomer. So maybe Mr. Beans, start your own YouTube channel and Instagram and things like that, and every day just post a little thing, just a little like share a little experience of your day and things like that. Just think of it like a little documentary of how you're becoming this master groomer, right? And what it takes and all the challenges and things like that. And as you do that, you'll create, people will start to watch, and then as you grow, then you'll start to have other avenues of passive income, like the affiliate links, using Amazon affiliate links products and things like that. But just try to think outside the box. Write even. Groomer to Groomer magazine. Todd Shelley is the editor for Groomer magazine. They're always looking for new writers. Yeah, and new articles and things like that. So you can write about your experiences and email it to them, and they can. I'm not saying they will, but it's a possibility that they can publish it, and you'll be published in the Groomer to Groomer magazine. Things like this. Think of ways to become more valuable. You can have more than you got because you can become more than you are. That's Jim Rohn. So you can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. And the only way to become more than you are is by stretching. You know, every time I come on camera and do something live or come on YouTube, I feel nervous, which is why I drink a little beer, things like that, just to calm myself down. Because, you know, and the only reason why the only reason why I'm even saying that, Mr. Beans, is just to let you know that, you know, if whatever's stopping you is like, oh, but that's not me, you know, I'm scared to do that, just do it. Josh Aaron, what's up, Josh? Josh Aaron, everybody, is actually a dog trainer who his family has C-Spot Grooming, several locations in Kentucky and Florida. Thank you so much for joining us, Josh. He says, we are not a big chain and offer benefits for all groomers. It's possible. So there we go. Josh, I think they have 6 locations, but they offer benefits for their groomers. Perfect. So it's not that all grooming shops don't offer benefits.
Just do your research.
You got to find them. You got to find what's out there. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Beans, I'm okay with trying to work for one, but every groomer I talk to hates it. And they say those places are about speed and not quality and detail. And that is what I'm good at. I'm not good at speed. And then he says, Josh Aaron, you're amazing. I will work for you. But Josh, if you're still watching, what do you think about that? The situation with Anna. So the dog was challenging. So she had to use a happy hoodie. She had to double tether the dog. The owner came back and you know, distracted the dog with cheese, and that's the way she got the dog dried and brushed out. And then chat disconnected. Oh, why? Okay, let me see here. But yeah, so on the second visit, rather than the dog being a little bit better, it was actually worse and didn't even respond to anything, not even the cheese, nothing. So I don't know. Do you have any suggestions for Anna? Oh no, why are we?
Are you up here?
Looks like we're still live. Okay.
We should wrap things up.
Yeah, we should probably wrap things up anyways, but wow. Okay, so for some reason we're having technical difficulties here. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see here. Okay.
Alan Powell.
Alan Powell's on here. Okay, oh my goodness. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we are. So we're still on. Perfect. So Alan Powell was on there. Let's check out what he was saying. I'm sorry about this, guys. So, okay, Josh Aaron, you're amazing. I'll work for you. The tips ideas is a good idea. Thanks, June. Alan Powell, yo, what's up, Alan Powell? I'm so happy that you joined us. I love happy hoodies. Mr. Bean says I love happy hoodies. Mini Horse Girl 1 says if you're using food to get an animal to behave, you should try clicker training. Perfect. And so all of these things, I'm actually gonna message back to Anna and let her know what we kind of came up with. So she could try clicker training. But you know, if she's not even responding, if the dog's not responding to the food, I'm not sure if clicker training is actually going to work in a grooming situation where the dog's freaking out already. Alan Powell, not sure what the question is for Anna. Okay, so Alan, I kind of read it in the beginning, but basically Anna is a groomer where she takes her time to get to know the dog and all, all this stuff. So the dog is aggressive, but she gets the dog to allow her to wash it. But then when she's drying the dog freaks out. So she calls the owner back. The owner distracts the dog with some cheese. And while the owner's distracting the dog with cheese, with the happy hoodie and double tethered, she's able to brush the dog out. That was visit one. So, the next visit, she thought the dog might be a little bit better. It was worse. And when the owner came back to try to distract the dog and give it cheese, the dog actually bit the owner. So the owner got bit and, had cotton balls in the ears, happy hoodie, double tethered, everything. None of it worked. And so she's saying that she's just at a loss. She doesn't really know what to do. So I was telling her that I've had situations where the dog would behave a lot worse on the second visit and the third visit compared to the first, and then they got better. But that was always when they were puppies. Like when the very first visit was a puppy and they were perfect, and then the second, third visit, all of a sudden, they're like rambunctious and they're challenging me, but then they mellow out again. And, that's usually because they're puppies. But this dog is a rescue, over a year old. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Mini Horse Girl 1 says, I'm a farrier and we use clicker training with horses. Ooh. And a farrier, I mean, you're dealing with horses that can kick the crap out of you. Literally. So how would we use clicker training with the dogs for grooming? Only because I don't really know a lot about clicker training or how to do it. I'm going to have to look into that. Mini Horse Girl 1. Norma Jean, I have a poodle. I have a toy poodle, and she is matted. Not heavily, but somewhat. I was told by PetSmart people not to buy those rake-looking brushes with the blades, but you've said they are good. She is small, 8 pounds. So, yeah, if you're talking about a show dog, then yeah, you want to keep their coat intact as much as possible. You don't want to use those blades because you're going to cut out the hair. But if you're talking about a pet dog that's getting matted all the time, then yeah, I mean, rather than shave the coat off. So, basically what they're saying is these harsh tools because they're going to damage the coat. So let's just shave all the coat off entirely. That's like saying, let's make a playground over here, but because we don't want to break any branches, let's just shave, cut down the entire forest. It's like, no. Let's just let's just work around, and maybe break a few branches if we need to, but let's keep the forest intact, right? And I mean, the dog's coat is it's got its own flora. It really is like a rainforest. It's a living system. My thing is, rather than shave the entire coat off, let's use some of these rakes and things like that and mat splitters, and let's work these mats and tangles out. And that way we can save the coat, right? Okay with breaking a few hairs as long as we save the coat. Anyways, Doodle Arts, thank you so much for all the help. Thank you so much, Doodle Arts. I'm so glad that you joined us and we were able to help. Josh Aaron, all right, everybody hold up. Josh Aaron, food and clickers are just redirecting, not correcting a behavior. Start slow. Just always keep a hand on the dog. Never break contact. No talking to it, no owner. All of those are just raising energy. I like it. I like it a lot. Honey, can you read the next one? I'm going to.
Okay, Jess, is a kennel dryer an option? It is an option, but you want to get that nice fluffy.
Coat dries crispy. Yeah, and kind of brittle. It doesn't feel nice and soft. But I mean, in the worst case scenario, if the dog just, will not let you dry them. So Alan Powell. Okay. Hard to say without seeing it. I've had some that the more I touch them while grooming, the more they're restrained, the more they're agitated. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I found that too, and I wouldn't recommend other people try this. This is just something I've been trying on my own. And I actually, when a dog starts to get really crazy and everything, I just even take the grooming loop off, and I just like no restraint at all. And it is a little risky because the dog can jump off the table and things like that. I wouldn't recommend other people doing it, but Alan, you got a point there, though. I just been noticing this myself, though, personally. In them, the more cooperative they become. Okay. When you get positive behavior, click or treat. Click and treat. Okay. You only reward good behavior. Okay. That's Mini Horse Girl 1 says you only reward the good behavior, you click and treat. The owner needs to get engaged and work with her animal and not let the groomer get beat up. Yeah, when the owner did get bit, in her defense. Same with the horses. Okay. Josh Aaron. Also, everyone should attend the Chris Berry Behavioral Grooming Seminar. Shameless plug. Okay, well, Chris Berry is Josh Aaron's mom, and she actually just won the up and coming Speaker of the Year award at Barkley Honors Award. It's an industry award ceremony. Wonderful speaker, amazing. But yeah, people. I didn't know that she had a grooming behavior seminar. But yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, what did you do?
Oh, let go. Hold on.
But yeah, if you guys haven't have a chance, definitely check out her grooming seminar. Okay. Norma Jean. I live in Chicago. Shaving her down right now is not an option. Thanks for advice. Do groomers brush and cut the dog's hair, then wash them? I ask because I hear when you bathe them, it tightens the hair. I brush and comb out the dog before the bath, before I bathe them. But from what I hear, that's old school, quote unquote old school. And I'm like one of the few groomers that do that. But I prefer it. I feel like I get much better results by doing that. Alan Powell, one of the groomers here, who I have a tremendous respect for, he does that as well. So I can't be totally wrong. Mr. Beans says...
Oh, sorry. Trying to make this. Okay, so Mr. Bean says, what level salon do you have, Jun?
So I don't have a salon anymore. I had a salon. I ran a few salons. I worked in salons. But now...
had to find the deeper meaning to what will work best for us in our situation.
So what I do is I make private house calls. So I go to my client's house, I set up my table and my grooming tools, I groom their dogs there in their home. They're welcome to watch. They don't have to. And I do about 2 to 3 appointments a day. And I charge accordingly to how much I need to make per day. And yeah, and I'm booked out. My wife is actually making appointments for July next year. That's crazy. Alan Powell, I use blower fans and a towel for dogs that hate dryers. Okay, blower. Yeah, I use a hand dryer as well for dogs that don't like the force dryer, Anyways, Jess Kira's, Norma, most groomers do brush and cut out mats before, then do the bath. Finish up cuts. Yeah, so I mean, and that's what I recommend, is to work that all out before the bath, because by pushing it off to after the bath, it just, I feel like there's more work in the end, and I don't really get the results that I want. Okay. Label Methis. I've been a groomer for 15 years and just want to tell you, I appreciate your channel. Wow, awesome. Thank you so much. Alan Powell, you can't do that with a matted dog, though. If there are mats, I'm not going to torture the dog for hours brushing them out. Yeah. If the dog is matted completely head to toe, and I actually did that with a Schnauzer too. I really don't like shaving down Schnauzers, with the 10, because most of the time terrier coats work out pretty easily, easier than a poodle or a Bichon coat or a Shih Tzu's coat. A terrier coat, even if it's matted, usually I can work it out. It's just beyond working out. Matted head to toe, in horrible shape. He was so uncomfortable. And so, yeah, I shaved him down. So there are situations, again, humanity over vanity. So we're always wanting to do what's best for the dog in each situation. And I know that's, kind of relative. It's usually what you feel is right for the dog. Alan Powell, blower fans are also known as floor carpet drying fans. Oh yeah, it's like when people get like flooded floors and things like that. Okay, Mr. Beans, that sounds like a nice way to groom. I eventually want to do a mobile thing too. What equipment do you have since you're on the move? You can't have a hydro surge, can you? Know? So I use people's sinks, utility sinks, and sometimes they have like a mud room. They have a utility sink in there. I use their bathtubs, showers,
kitchen sink.
And if there's an overhead sprayer and there's nothing where I can actually wash the dog with, I'll use the dilution bottles and just fill them up and with water and use that as like a handheld sprayer almost. And I'll wash the dogs that way. I figure it out, baby. But okay, so yeah, I don't go around with a tub. So in my backpack, I go with a backpack, a bag, a broom with a dustpan attached to it, and my grooming table. Yeah, so what's in my backpack is pretty much all the tools I'm gonna need: scissors, combs, brushes, comb guards, clippers, my hand dryer. All of that is gonna go in my backpack, right? So that's all on my back. in the bag that I hold on my side has my towels, has my shampoo bottles, water bottles, and things like that, right? It's things that I need for the bath. And then I have my broom, my dustpan, and sometimes I'll have a chair and my grooming table, a portable fold-out grooming table. Before I had my portable table, I actually carried my hydraulic table. Oh my God. So I don't recommend doing that. But anyways, that's how I do it. I'm just mobile. I got it down to one trip. I go inside the house, take all my stuff off and set up, groom their dogs, and I move on to the next appointment. And I love it. I love it. I mean, I love everything about it. I love being able to ride in between grooms, just kind of reset in between grooms. Josh Shannon, thanks for the channel, June. Josh, thank you so much for joining. Seriously. Norma Jean, my dog gets matted on her feet. I comb her every day, but she licks her feet at night to fall asleep. I don't know why. She gets matted. If she's licking her feet.
You remember how that Cavalier lady was talking about her wet feet?
Yeah. So if she's licking her feet, it could be because when she goes outside, her feet gets wet. They're not getting completely dried, and this is because what she's bringing up. We went to this AKC show down in Georgia, South Georgia, and they were showing Cavaliers, and one of the Cavalier handlers told us that a lot of pet owners, their dogs' feet are itching them, and their dogs will chew and lick at them because whenever they go outside and their feet get wet in the grass and all that stuff, they're just letting it air dry. And when it air dries, the bacteria and all that stuff gets yucky and itchy, and the dog started licking and itching at it. So she's saying every time your dog goes outside, anytime the feet get wet, you want to take a blow dryer and make sure it's dry, towel dry, and brush it out every single time the feet get wet. And I know that's a hassle, but it's worth a try, right? If your dog's licking every night, it's uncomfortable. Alan Powell, you're right. Every so often, the schnauzers have that coat that does mat. It was weird the first time I saw it, and it didn't brush out. Dog wasn't happy about it either. Yeah, of course I'm right, Alan. I'm Jun the Groomer.
Oh, that's good. You're Mr. Bean.
Wow, what a legend, June. What? Oh my goodness, I'm a legend. But I'm not dead yet. No, I was kidding. Jim's equipment shed. Our Yorkie fits in the sink. Yet one more reason not to own a Great Dane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Jess Kiras, what shears do you recommend for a beginner? I'm a bather now, but I just started grooming school. I'm not a beginner groomer, and I use some pretty crappy shears right now. I mean, so for me, I think a lot of people know.
And finding your own scissors.
Best way to choose a pair of scissors is what my wife said: go to the trade shows and actually go to the different booths and try the scissors for yourselves. Hold them and ask them questions. Ask them, how do I know these scissors fit my hand correctly? And they'll tell you what to look for, what you're feeling, all of that stuff. If they don't, walk to another booth. They don't deserve your business. Anyways, Norma Jean. She's an indoor dog. She hasn't been outside, and we have cement where she goes and when she comes in. I use wipes to make sure she's clean, but it's rare that she goes out. She's trained indoors. Okay. So maybe she's allergic to something, or maybe.
But she doesn't go on the grass.
Yeah.
It might be the food that might be causing allergy.
Well, here's an idea. Norma Jean, get a metal comb, a greyhound comb, and go get, put it on your dog's paw, right? And see if it combs easily through. So let's say your dog was not holding a glass of beer and this is his paw. And so you want to do is kind of comb up, right? But even down, you could just try combing down. But let's say you get it and it doesn't really comb through, it catches. That's because there's a bunch of dead coat right there. It's bundled inside the hairs along with the live hairs. So what you want to do is just comb it out, right? Comb it out of the skin. And once you get it to where this metal comb will go through that paw hair, the hair on the paws easily, then you know that the skin is actually clear. The pores are clear of that brown, dull, kind of dirty hair, the older hairs. And if you do that for about 2-3 days and the licking doesn't get better, then I would be astonished. I would be amazed. Mr. Beans, LOL, there was a Great Dane at the salon I groom at, and I am super small person, so I let the other bather bathe it. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Beans. I mean, you don't have nothing to prove, man. Seriously, we have to think about our own well-being, So, Alan Powell, when's the last time the paw pads were shaved out? That's another thing. Alan Powell is asking Norma Jean when the last time the paw pads have been shaved out, because sometimes the hair down there also gets pretty cruddy, brown, and nasty. So
holds onto the bacteria too.
Mr. Beans, that Jess Kira's Norma, you can try Microtech spray or paw scrub with tea tree. Yeah, tea tree helps kill fungus and bacteria, and the Microtech helps soothe the itching. Microtech spray, I love Banix as well. Banixx, Banix. They make a really good spray, and you can try that on the paws as well. Norma Jean, okay, yeah, because she's matted, so I'll try that. Yeah. Perfect. So if you comb out the paws, and she might freak out at the beginning because as soon as you kind of tug at it, she's gonna like because it's already making her feel uncomfortable. That's why she's looking at it. But maybe what you can do is kind of break it up more gently with the slicker first, kind of gently, and then tap at it, kind of work it out, and spray some Banix or the Microtech or any of these antibacterial, antifungal. And that's the thing, you really want to look for antifungal and spray that on that area. It should go away. Mr. Beans, I mean that I bathe at LOL. I don't groom yet. Mr. Beans, yes, you do. Mr. Beans, I don't ever want to hear you say you don't groom. You groom. You're a groomer. When you brush a dog, when you're brushing their teeth, cleaning their ears, clipping their nails, any of that stuff, you're grooming. So, Mr. Beans, you're a groomer. Okay?
Just because you don't cut hair doesn't mean that you're not a groomer.
You are learning to become a hairstylist, right? And style the dog's hair and cut the hair. That part you're working on, but you are already a groomer, okay? Don't put yourself down like that. Norma Jean. Nothing up there? What is that?
No, don't. Okay.
Norma Jean, she licks the top of her feet, not bottom. Okay, so it's probably that. She was last groomed a month ago, and they shaved her paw pads between the toes.
You know what it can be? Like the clogged pores, like the ingrown hair. That's hurting and bothering.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sometimes when I get these like clogged pores here too, it really itches. Okay. Mr. Beans, I've learned a ton tonight. Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Beans. That makes me feel really good. Oh, thanks, June. I work very hard, so that means a lot. I mean, seriously, Mr. Beans, like I want to encourage you. You are already a groomer. You're a great groomer, actually, because you care a lot about your dogs. So I'm going to leave everybody with this. Seth Godin, however you spell it, however you pronounce it. Seth says, what makes an artist is that is the person cares deeply about their work, and they offer it generously to whoever they're serving. So if you're washing a dog for a client, you care deeply about this dog that you're washing, and the work that you do, you're doing it with the spirit of generosity, knowing that you're probably putting in more work than you're getting paid for, but you're doing it with that spirit of generosity, and you're offering it up to the client and saying, here, I did this, I hope you like it. In that moment of vulnerability where it's possible that the client says, no, I don't like it, I don't like you, you know, that is what makes an artist, you know, being able to put ourselves out there, to do our best, put everything into it, and then offer it up for the world to say, I hope you like this. And knowing that it is possible that they'll say, no, we don't. But then going and trying again, because we're an artist. That's what we do. Mr. Beans, also my boss said I'm above the curve with bathing. So I hope that means I'll be decent at cutting the fur. Exactly. If you want to become a good groomer, like a good hairstylist, you have to first become a good brusher and bather. And once you master that, you become a master bather, not to be confused with the other thing, but you become a master bather, you really master that craft, then when you do the haircuts, it's all going to click and it's just going to be easy for you. Mr. Beans, I love my dog clients. I feel like it's art for sure. It really is. We are artists. And you know, as long as we approach it like that, grooming will always be fulfilling. It will always be meaningful, even if the paycheck isn't there all the time. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us for this hour of Q&A.
It's more than an hour.
Yeah, and you know, sorry there was no heads up or anything. It just kind of spurred the moment. I wanted to help out Anna and see if I can get some ideas.
And Mr. Beans.
And Mr. Beans. And thank you so much, Mr. Beans. And Josh Aaron, thank you so much. And if there's any groomers out there that you want to find, like, learn more about grooming aggressive dogs, check out his mom's grooming lectures. Chris Berry is Josh's mom. Thank you so much for joining, Alan Powell. I love you. Doodle Arts, see you. Hope to see you live again soon. Yes, thank you so much. I'm so glad you got Doodle Arts. You really added to the conversation. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna go hit the gym.